Chris Lee. Minimum invasion, maximum result.
Good evening. I'm your local weather authority, Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates. Rain showers continue to fall throughout much of central Illinois, but temperatures are at least mild for now. It is 50 in Normal. There's the view from our Dr. Lawrence Lee camera in uptown Normal. Scattered rain showers have been impacting us in Peoria all evening long, but it's not going to last much longer, maybe a couple more hours. As for tomorrow, decreasing clouds, falling temperatures, and another round of some blustery northwesterly winds. We'll break down your full forecast coming up. WMBD News at 10 starts now.
First tonight, first responders investigating a fire that killed a 12-year-old girl in Creve Coeur. Thanks for watching. I'm Mark Welp.
And I'm Shelby Roberts. That fire happened at a home near the intersection of South Stewart Street and Groveland Avenue just before 4:30 this morning.
Creve Coeur police say when they arrived, the home was fully engulfed in flames. One person was able to escape and told authorities that his girlfriend's daughter was still inside. Meanwhile, another young girl that was visiting jumped from the second floor to escape.
And officers say that they were not able to enter, but East Peoria firefighters arrived shortly after and started fighting those flames. Madeline McCain's body was then found on the upper level of the home, and it was her 12th birthday.
It's very emotional for everybody that was involved. It's something that we never want to happen. And unfortunately, with all the best efforts, we were just unable to get to her today.
Gill says the cause of that fire remains under investigation. An autopsy for McCain is scheduled for Friday morning. That structure is a complete loss, so the family has no clothes or a place to stay. The Red Cross helped with some immediate needs, but they are still looking for long-term help. If you'd like to donate cash, clothing, or anything else, you can drop it off at the Creve Coeur Police Department, and they'll make sure the family gets it.
In a follow-up, a 2-month-old boy from Peoria is dead, and now his case is being investigated as the city's 32nd homicide of the year. The Peoria County coroner said the baby, Connor Yeo, died from severe blunt force head trauma at a hospital just before midnight. Investigators say this stems from a November 12th incident involving 23-year-old Zachary Yeo. He's been charged with aggravated battery to a child and aggravated domestic battery. We're still working to learn Zachary's relationship with Connor. Police are working with the state's attorney's office on additional charges.
A woman chasing after her stolen car is now in the hospital. That situation unfolding this afternoon in the middle of one of Peoria's busiest intersections, Knoxville Avenue and War Memorial Drive. A Peoria police captain tells us that that initial call came in just after 12:30 as a woman that had been hit by a car. Investigators say that the woman told officers she spotted her stolen car, called 911, got into another car, and then chased it down. The woman then told investigators she tried to get out of her car to confront the suspect. Investigators say that the suspect then hit the woman with her own stolen car. The driver then slammed that car into a light pole. Police tell us that the man ran off and he is still on the loose. Paramedics rushed the woman that was hurt to the hospital, and she is expected to be okay. That incident is still under investigation.
In the courtroom, arraignment for 3 teenagers accused of murdering a Mackinac woman and attempting to kill her husband. 17-year-old Andre Street was charged with 7 counts, including first-degree murder and aggravated discharge of a firearm. 18-year-old Nathaniel Maloney also charged with 7 counts. His charges also include first-degree murder and aggravated discharge of a firearm. 19-year-old Sage Reiber faces 5 counts, ranging from first-degree murder to home invasion. Not guilty pleas were entered for all 3 defendants. Their next court date is scheduled for January 3rd.
We turn to national news now. This afternoon, in a case out of Georgia, the jury has found all 3 defendants guilty of murdering 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery, shooting him and videotaping it while he was jogging last February. Travis McMichael, his father Gregory McMichael, and their neighbor William Bryan Jr. all convicted. Now back here in Peoria, local African-American leaders are celebrating the victory in the Ahmaud Arbery trial. The president of Peoria's NAACP branch, Pastor Marvin Hightower, says that justice was served today. Hightower also says that the verdict shows that the system can work for black people even when he says odds are stacked up. He also says this trial shows how important it is to pay attention to who you're voting for in your local elections.
We have to be in tune and engaged on who we elect as our state's attorney, because that matters. They had a state's attorney that would not bring this case forward until they got another one. And so it matters. So elections matter is the bottom line.
And in the Twin Cities, leaders with the Bloomington Normal branch of the NAACP say that their hearts go out to Arbery's family. The branch president there, Linda Foster, and first vice president, Dr. Carla Campbell Jackson, said that they're pleased with the guilty verdict, but they say they're still concerned with what they believe is the root cause of Arbery's murder, systemic racism. Campbell Jackson says that they're keeping Ahmaud's family in mind, especially with tomorrow being Thanksgiving.
Our hearts and thoughts are with the families because tomorrow is Thanksgiving and most of us will celebrate with our families, but we know that there will definitely be an empty chair at that table at the Arbery household.
She also says the Bloomington Normal branch of the NAACP will continue to have tough conversations involving racism and discrimination in America.
New at 10, it's the day before Thanksgiving, and while many people are hitting the road to visit family and friends, others are hitting the bars. Tonight is the infamous Blackout Wednesday, a night where people typically pack the bars and some engage in heavy drinking. Local bars tell us it's also one of their busiest nights next to New Year's Eve. The manager of Cruisin's on Farmington Road says last year's big night was canceled due to the pandemic. He says they hope to make up for it tonight safely.
We didn't get to have one last year, and ever since COVID, a lot of people have just been hitting the bars hard lately. You know, they've been missing everybody. They want to come out, they want to have fun. If they start acting more intoxicated than usual, you know, we'll calm them down or we'll have security around. We always hire more security on nights like these.
He says they're expecting anywhere from 200 to 300 people tonight. The bar also has the band Patrick and Swayze performing. If you do plan on going out and drinking tonight, please consider having a designated driver or using a rideshare service.
Well, hit the road without hitting any bumps along the way. The easiest step that someone can take is getting their car inspected by an auto mechanic before you head out for Thanksgiving plans. That's when a mechanic will be taking a look at the car from front to back. Another thing you'll want to make sure to do is check your tire pressure. Make sure it's at or slightly above the requirement for your car. As colder weather causes tires to lose pressure, about 1 pound every 10-degree drop. One local mechanic in Bloomington tells us that the most important is tire tread, especially as winter weather is just around the corner.
The snow has to be able to grip the tire just as the tire needs to grip the snow. If you have a slick surface on your tire, it's just going to slide around. A lot of it's avoidable if you just take care of your vehicle.
He also recommends having at least a half tank of gas and a phone charger handy in case you do get stuck on the roads.
Tonight, Dream Center Peoria helps hundreds of people celebrate the season of giving.
The annual Thanksgiving Eve meal, serving up hearty holiday dinners and celebrating togetherness.
Our Liz Lape shows us how the center's volunteers are making sure no one is alone and hungry this holiday.
Dishing up ham, sides, and almost 300 pounds of turkey, Dream Center Peoria served hundreds of hot plates to shelter guests, students, and their families Wednesday night. With the Thanksgiving dinner canceled last year, the center's director of development says this is the first time in a year the center has opened its doors to this many people.
We can bring people together and we can say what we are thankful for, we can hear what they're thankful for.
Denise Bailey says several dozens of volunteers have been hard at work, cooking and baking for the past 3 days. She says they prepared food for around 350 people.
We want to be able to give dignity and show compassion and ignite purpose in our guests and our students. This is another way.
Bailey says she's happy to see events like this come back to the Dream Center, saying that Peoria's poverty level is more than double the national average.
There are families who are able to purchase a turkey and purchase all the side dishes, and they can come and enjoy this and be served and just sit back and relax.
One Dream Center resident says this is her and her son's first Thanksgiving dinner since they lost their home.
We had a house fire a few years back. Our family home burned out and we lost everything, so this is the first time we've actually had a home in 5 years.
Clemens says she's grateful for what the Dream Center and all their volunteers do for her family and the community.
We're going to enjoy this Thanksgiving, and we're blessed to have a place that we can actually sit down and call home.
Bailey says ability to come together this year is something she's extra thankful for.
Even though we're wearing masks and we're trying to protect as many as possible, we are enjoying it at a level that maybe we didn't before.
In Peoria, Liz Lape, WMBD News.
Still to come, a unique way to express yourself. See where you can get that perfect shot in this week's Open for Business.
And temperatures reaching the mid-50s this afternoon. Here's a look at our almanac. We had a high of 55 after a low of 36. Unfortunately, it is looking much colder tomorrow. We'll have that forecast coming up next.
You're watching WMBD News, Central Illinois Proud, with Mark Welp, Shelby Roberts, Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates with your local Weather Authority forecast, and Kurt Pegler with sports. This is WMBD News at 10. The Storm Tracker Skycam Network, brought to you by Linco Precision Ag Technology Solutions. Now, honored by the Illinois News Broadcasters Association for Best Weather Operation, your local weather authority forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates.
Welcome back. It has been a rainy evening here in central Illinois. Light but steady rain continues to fall. Temperatures are also mild, but here's the current view. On the American Pest Control camera, we've got light rain falling over downtown Peoria. It's about as heavy as it's been all evening. It's just not going to last all that long, but we've got some slightly higher rainfall rates from McDonough County through parts of Fulton and now into Tazewell and Peoria counties as well. But the rain continues. It will continue often, at least over the next couple of hours at a steady rate, and will become lighter after about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and eventually come to an end. All right, temperatures mainly around 50 degrees. Cold front's actually just west of Galesburg and is getting ready to push through town there. It's not hard to spot where the real cold air is with this system. 29 degrees Minneapolis, but how about Bismarck, North Dakota? Down into the single digits with this very strong cold front. Thankfully, that air is going to stay well north and west of us, but we will start to tap into the 30s and 20s. Later tonight, 30s. By tomorrow, we are headed for the 20s. But cold front just now pushing in towards the Galesburg area. Scattered rain showers ahead of it. Not a whole lot of impacts out there as far as holiday travel is concerned. If you are traveling, you're probably going to, and if you're traveling down south towards Houston, that may be one area you encounter some issues, and then some heavier showers, perhaps maybe a few thunderstorms throughout Kentucky and Tennessee. But as far as the real nasty stuff, the snow that can cause rippling delays throughout the country, not going to be an issue as we go through our Thanksgiving. All right, feature track, scattered rain showers continue, but it all comes to an end starting in the west after midnight, and then we'll eventually wrap up around 3 o'clock in the morning for areas like Bloomington. Mostly cloudy skies as we head out tomorrow morning, and getting colder every passing hour. But here's the rainfall forecast, including what has already fallen through about 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're looking at around 1/10 to locally up to 2/10 of an inch of rain. Lows tonight will be ranging from the low to mid 30s in the west to the upper 30s in the east. Peoria at 36. Mostly cloudy tomorrow morning. Blustery northwesterly winds, though, blowing at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. It's going to help push in colder air. So the warmest will be for the first few hours of tomorrow morning, and then around noon we'll be in the mid 30s and falling. And by late afternoon, early evening, temperatures will be in the low 30s and upper 20s throughout the region. 27 degrees, for instance, by 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Again, all that cold air being pushed in by some of these blustery northwesterly winds. And this is your wind forecast late tonight, early tomorrow. 10 to 15 mile per hour wind sustained. You'll get a few gusts up to about 25 miles per hour. So looking a little blustery again, but not quite as windy as it was earlier today. High pressure then settles in. That's going to leave us with some pleasant, at least dry weather for Friday. It is still looking chilly with increasing cloud cover. Temperatures Friday afternoon will be back into the mid 30s. But if you are curious about the Santa Claus parade in Peoria, our temperatures are likely going to be just around the freezing mark throughout. So be sure to bundle up. Another chance for some passing rain showers Saturday afternoon and evening. Otherwise, a nice warming trend early next week with mainly dry conditions. We'll be back.
You're watching WMBD News at 10.
Well, everyone loves a good selfie, right?
Sure.
You're the selfie king, I know this. And now a business in Bloomington is making the picture-perfect process a little bit easier and a lot more fun.
Shelby had a miserable time during this story, I can tell. This week's open for business.
Lights, cameras, angles. Levance and Ashley Walker are bringing the selfie game to the next level in the Twin Cities.
So we just been thinking creatively. Anything we try to just think outside the box, nothing normal at all. We want it to be the most random place ever where it could be for everybody to be involved.
The newlyweds are making it happen at their newly opened selfie museum in Bloomington.
I mean, it was truly like a blessing how it all came to be.
They call it Selfie Express.
And Selfie Express it's a double meaning. It's really express as in like you come in here for an hour and you go out. You know that it goes really quick, but also express as in express yourself.
Photographers by trade, the Walkers have handcrafted a unique experience for each of the dozen differently themed booths. And whether you're behind the lens or out front and center, there's a picture-perfect backdrop for all your shots.
I really hope this becomes like a hub for the community. That people know what this space is and they want to come, they want to have fun, they know this is a place where they can relax, where they can let off some steam.
Ashley and Levance say their goal is to grow, continue to host events, and rotate the booth themes more frequently, giving customers a new experience each time they come.
Money is important, but it's not our driving force. Our driving force is to really be a blessing to other people and to have a good time, for people to have a good time.
Fun time there. Well, it's a busy night in high school hoops. Kurt Begler has highlights from tournament play around the area. That's next in sports.
One arm. He lost his arm growing up in a building accident. You should see him play basketball. He's already got a couple of scholarship offers.
Now, your Sam Lehman Morton Sports Desk with Kurt Pegler.
A couple of days in Cancun before Thanksgiving is a pretty good week. It's even better for the ISU Redbirds if they can win a game in the Cancun Challenge tonight before heading back home. Dan Muller and the Redbirds wrapping up their stay in Cancun, Mexico. Redbirds playing Buffalo. Josiah Strong with a nice feed here to Cy Chapman early in the game. Hoop and foul. Chapman scored 21 points. And here Chapman gets another nice feed. He's going to slam this one down. However, the Redbirds are playing from behind all night, trying to play catch-up. ISU led by Kendall Lewis, who scored 22. Look at this tough shot on the baseline. But Buffalo just killed ISU inside. Great passing here. They score 106 points and win 106-90. The night before Thanksgiving is a busy one in high school hoops with holiday tournaments in full effect tonight. We'll start in Washington, night 2 of the Kevin Brown Memorial Tournament of Champions. Washington plays Kankakee, a school that beat them in football this fall. Different story on the basketball floor. Jamari White with the offensive board. He sticks it back in. The Panthers came out strong. Big man Isaac Mapson was terrific. Great move in the paint for 2. He had 10 points in the opening quarter, really set the tone. He finished with 21. Then a great feed here from Braden Vanderheit to Mapson. 2 more, 51-24. The Panthers are winners. Metamora tries to bounce back against a team from California in the Tournament of Champions. And look at the defense here from Ethan Kaiser. He closes in and blocks this layup cleanly. Nicely done. Drew Tucker finds some room for Metamora. He's going to hit the pull-up jumper here for the Redbirds, who had an early lead. Another big game for Tyson Swanson. He will attack from the right, score 21, but Metamora falls 50-43 to St. John Bosco of California. Night 2 of the boys intercity tournament at Shirk Center. U-High taking on Bloomington, and it's Bloomington's Nico Newsom stepping into a jumper and knocking it down. Good passing here by U-High's Ty Minor to Ty Blake. Rolls off the screen and flips that one in. And then here, Minor's going to get the ball at the top of the key and then just drive it right to the bucket for the hoop. And the Pioneers beat the Raiders 50-41. Also at the Intercity, Normal West taking on Jason Welch and his Central Catholic Saints. Central Catholic's Rye Pertz to Chase Fisher. He works the baseline for 2. And Pertz passes to Colin Haynes, who spins and scores another nice bucket for Central Catholic. But West wins again. John O. Edmondson drives and dishes. Well done to Isaac Demosthenes. A lay-in and a 64-53 Wildcat win. To the Brimfield Turkey Tournament, where Tremont battles Knoxville. The Turks off to a quick start. They score 11 of the game's first 14 points. Floater here by Nolan Parsons. But then the Blue Bullets got settled in and got going. David Hayes takes it all the way and lays that one in. And then off the miss from the corner, it's a strong rebound and three-point play for junior Braden Downs. Scored in the foul, 64-50, score a Knoxville victory. Championship night at the Limestone Girls Tournament. It's Notre Dame against Peoria High, and the Lions roar out of the gates. Aaliyah Guyton puts it on the floor, drives and scores. Peoria High a 17-point lead early, but the Irish would come back. Maya Warda with a nice floater here. The Irish cut the Lions' lead to 1 after 3 quarters. But Peoria High is the tournament champion. Nice baseline move here and bucket for Alana Jackson. 64-52, the Lions win the tournament championship. Briefly, DMAC, Eureka, Elmwood, Prairie Central, and Havana also winners in boys hoops. Bears tomorrow at Detroit, 11:30 kickoff on WYZZ, our sister station. In Kurt's Corner, back to the Washington Tournament of Champions for an incredible player. Hansel Emmanuel Donato plays on a team from Florida. He plays with one arm, lost his arm in a building accident in the Dominican Republic as a young boy. It doesn't stop him. Look at that nice assist on that play to a teammate. Then look at this athletic tip in as he's going to come in from the left and score. And this move brought the house down at Torrey Gin. He spins and finishes. What an inspiration. Hansel Emmanuel Donato's already got a couple of college scholarships offers. Well done in tonight's Kurt's Corner.